with
He
that
has
sort of.
that unlikely star look about him too, which is
He
so
does.
endearing.
He does. He could quite easily be a disaffected geography student who then goes on the rampage at night, um, killing three of his housemates and smashing up a kebab house when people thought he was so quiet.
Hey, everybody out there. Welcome back to another Friday view request installment here at the Audiophiles, where these episodes are devoted to songs recommended by you, the viewers out there. And today we are going to be listening to a song that I'm familiar with, but I don't believe John is, which is why he'll be up to bat on this one. It was offered up by Aster_11. Aster11. Hope you're out there. Hope you're doing well. And his recommendation, or their recommendation, came on the reaction video to Scum by Lovejoy. And this is another Lovejoy track, and it is called Normal People Things. You ready for this thing, John?
I am ready for the antique snagging shenanigans of that mullet wearing actor Ian McShane. Oh, sorry, it's the band, isn't it? Yes.
Yes,
Cannot get it out of my head. Of course, no, the last two reactions have been very interesting and positive. So I expect good things.
Okay, well, I hope you get them.
Do not disappoint me, Lovejoy. Do not disappoint me.
At the very least, you can expect normal people things. So
yeah,
go off.
They couldn't give a shit either way, you know.
Go off and give this thing a listen. Come back and let me, Aster, and the gang know what you thought of it, man.
Well, go. Hold up. I know it's old school and it's been 1,000 times before, but I really like that starting with the sort of guitar-y feedback bits. It's like someone's opening up a rusty old box and getting out their equipment ready to fight. And then it's bang, 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 straight into an infectious riff that kind of sounds familiar but sounds new at the same time. 10 seconds, we can go back.
Attack, we're back in track, we're background home for cerebellum. Oh, what a blessing to meet someone like you, with eyes as dead as mine, as fine as normal people things, just to lie here in silence.
I will take it back a touch there to sound as kick off again. These guys have definitely got something. They're obviously, well, to me, very likable. They have a grasp of music from the past which they like. In that bit there we start singing, there's definitely a touch to the old Franz Ferdinand. It's no bad thing, but other stuff as well. And from what I've heard before, you can tell they're developing their own sound, which is great. Yeah, this is all thumbs up. I really like the guitar riffs and the way they're playing with the riffs and the beats as well. It's like a modern version of post-punk, which again is refreshing to hear. This is really good stuff, and it's catchy and infectious. And I like his affected vocal delivery as well. As a touch of Franz Ferdinand about it, but other bands way before as well that they took inspiration from. And yeah, there's a lot of humor in it as well, and the video. Funny. Yeah, really good stuff.
Spending days in self-medicating with too much weight, unpleasant aftertaste. We think the same, play different games. Since I like to refuse, hope you blink before I do, then pray and pray that you'll go and do it anyway. Hold your breath, I'll make it worth the wait. Hold your breath to your chest and come back and see me. You rubbed the makeup off my neck that I was using to hide the stubble rush I gave myself while shaving. Yes, it's probably a razor thing, but honestly it's harmless and I refuse to let the sensitive skin win a blessing. To meet someone like you, with eyes stared as mine is fine. It's no more people things, just to lie here in silence. So we lie here in silence. Yes, we lie here in silence. This is no more people things, just to lie here in silence. Hold your breath, I'll make it worth the wait. Hold your breath to your chest and come back and see me. Hold your breath to your chest and come back and see me. Come back and see me. Come back and see me. Come back and see me.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. Really energetic, charming as well in a way. There's I like the visuals. You've got these classic sort of poses. You see those awful photographs of the family poses. But it's also, am I mad? But I was getting a bit of craft work the way they posed in it as well. It's just my brain. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, love the guitar action in this. Love the drive, the energy, playing with the rhythms. The drummer's a bit of a star as well. And just introduce the microphone and we all start dancing. Yeah, there's a lot to like in this. A lot. I like to listen to it again and pay attention to the lyrics because I was just letting them wash over me. But yeah, a lot of fun. Really like this. Could definitely listen to this many more times. Right, let's get back to Andy and see what he thinks.
All right, back. And I should have mentioned this, I guess, on the other side, but this was I believe, the official video for it. So you got to see all the silliness rather than just a thumbnail. What you make of it, man?
Yeah, so the song starts and it's only a second, or probably just a second, but it starts with this sound of like guitar feedback and sort of that amplified ambience, of electricity wafting through the cables. And it sounded just like a rusty box being opened. And I pictured someone getting out an ancient weapon ready for battle. It's a really hackneyed musical gesture, but I love it. And I had to put it back and listen to it again. It's just one of those things that ticks a box. And then biff, pang, bow, as Alan McGee would say, we're off. So there's a 4-punch combination from the drummer. And then this familiar but still sort of fresh sounding riff launches the song. Instantly, it's got a great song with nods to older bands that I love. And so I'm 80% won over already. As a singer starts, and I have to apologize right now for not letting the lyrics sort of settle in my head. They kind of just washed over me on the most part, for a first listen, But as he starts singing, we move into the verse, and there's a slightly different sort of guitar pattern that sort of brings the whole volume of the sound down a bit. And there's one guitar that's doing this lovely sort of frenetic riff that's slightly going up and down. It's almost, and it's scurrying, and it's almost sort of block party in feel. It's a, you know, which again, it's really nice. And he's supported by his compadre, who's strumming in a sort of angular way, which would not look out of place in like 1982 or something, you know, musically. And I really like, and throughout the song, there's this attention to the rhythmic qualities of the song as well as the melodic qualities, and they use both of those, which for me, although people will probably argue the toss, but that was one of the things that came out of the sort of post-punk sort of movement and into the 80s was this this sort of sound. All of this is underpinned by the basic thumping drummer. And again, he's signaling out each sort of small sort of the end of each phrase with another sort of 4 stomps. And then we're into the next bit. And it does have this, it's kind of like a modernized or developed post-punk feel to it. I mean, it's definitely got undoubtedly elements of pop to it. It is, you know, it's a catchy number. But with these things combined, I really like to see it actually, that they've taken something old, something like that I really love, and then they've done their twist and turn. I think we said this in previous reactions, but it actually, you know, I really, really like it. I can't shake comparisons with early Franz Ferdinand. There's even more here, but I enjoy it all the more for it. And I'm not saying they sound like them. It's just they remind me of, because that's what happens when you listen to stuff. The singer for me is kind of playing with his enunciation and his stresses on certain words. It is slightly affected. And I think for some people that could be a little bit jarring, but I really liked it. Again, grew up with all that shit. It's another early 80s sort of flag, as it were. And I just find it quite fun. And it was kind of almost normal listening to people like David Byrne and all that, doing that sort of thing, you know. There's a nice little touch of group vocals on certain bits, but it's not like a bombastic, we're trying to launch, you know, a big part of the song. It's just there. And then there's some what I call radio transmission murmurings as well going on. We're about a third of the way through the song, this very short song, I have to say. And already their character, because it's a proper video, not a thumbnail, their character and their humor are already emerging. And which I find really refreshing without the sort of standard posturing of a youngish band. You know, they don't seem to take themselves too seriously, which is great. There's a lovely tiny cameo from the drummer at this point, and he really is quite the unlikely star of this whole thing.
He has that unlikely star look about him too, which is so endearing.
He does. He could quite easily be a disaffected geography student who then goes on the rampage at night, killing 3 of his housemates and smashing up a kebab house when people thought he was so quiet. But he isn't, thank God. But he does this lovely, you know, there's the pounding bit, there's a sustained guitar chord, and then it goes into that hi-hat sort of snare kick out. And it's just a lovely little touch, you know. It's simple, but it's really, you know, endearing as well. And there's and then we're into sort of the chorus, and there's this climbing guitar as the vocals rise and expand, and the guitar almost like it's creeping upstairs or getting to the edge of a, you know, a cliff or a mountain, and it starts to freak out as it hits the top and gets to the crescendo. And then we have this by now almost de rigueur sort of 4-hit bang into the next verse. And I'm really liking the dynamics of all this as well. It's really entertaining. The second verse coming after the chorus, naturally, because of that chorus, now he's doing it the same style as it was previously, but now it sounds even more understated, his vocal style, and slightly sardonic as well. And then he goes into the silliness about shaving rashes with his makeup and all that. And I do like the way he almost wails at the end of sensitive skin something or other. He does a little screech at the end, which is quite funny. There's a couple of transitional lines where they keep repeating "lie here in silence," and there's a great beat from the drummer at this point. And then we have the introduction of the magic microphone, which changes everything. The spell is broken. there's at the cue of the shouting of silence, drum fill, and then it's full on swing your pants time. Um, it's like the band could only keep a straight face for so long. And obviously, this is an edited video, and
Yeah,
you
they
think
had to
they
get
could
it
only
out.
tune this for 3 days, but watching it, you feel like they're doing all this post, and then suddenly, oh yeah, we can relax now and
Yeah.
arse about, and it's great. And it does seem to be, again, it's a video and everything. I worked with a guy who was a video director and shot commercials as well as music videos and everything. And he said, absolutely nothing is ever left to chance, and everything you see would have been carefully choreographed. But there does seem to be genuine enjoyment and revelry in their faces and
Mhm.
written across their dubious knitwear as they sort of groove with abandon. Um, More climbing guitars, dodgy cowboy hats, and some really great drum fills that are brief, but take us to that final collapse. They don't fall down the stairs, but they sort of sink into their final pose with the microphone still swinging gently in the breeze. Um, and then we have these faint echoes of "Come Back and See Me" with a squeaky acoustic sound, and that sounded really enticing as well. I'd happily listen to more of that. I was like, that got me interested. Um, I do have to mention the visuals of the video. I was trying not to pay too much attention to their arsing about. I did enjoy it, and it was like there's some at points they were recreating those excruciating family photos, portraits, and that we've
Yes.
seen on social media do the rounds, and even on some record covers. Particularly, I have to say, American Midwest homegrown families who do sort of country music. You get album covers that look just like
Yep.
that. And it's great. And I almost also, I don't know if this is my brain working overtime, but I was also getting a sort of Kraftwerk sort of pose to some of their positions, like Kraftwerk would do on some of their stuff, which again
Mm.
I really enjoyed. Yeah, this was a really, I don't know where this comes in sort of their timeline. But I listened to it. I think this sounds more developed than their previous songs. Um, this is a really catchy, infectious number, and to my mind, I put it as later, and it sounded like there was genuine development as well in a fairly young band, which is really nice to see. So I
Yeah.
really enjoyed this, and they have got something about them. No, no two ways about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. That's for sure.
Yeah,
And given our track record, this will go up and we'll get recommended another, half dozen songs of theirs to go check out at some point.
fair
But
enough.
as long as they keep putting out songs that go over well with us, most of
Yeah,
which I'm already
as
familiar
good
with,
as
then
this, then I
yeah,
happy listen to them. Yeah,
yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So, yeah, I'm a real big fan of this number two. It's fun, quirky, and it's about kind of being fun and quirky too, kind of like a person who is not who feels that they're not the you know typical outgoing personality or whatever, and it has shades of like being a weirdo to it that I can relate to in some way, shape, or form. I think a lot of people can. So
yeah, I can
yeah,
see that.
let's get into the band really the song, because as my comments in the opening of the video would suggest, we've done some Lovejoy tracks on the channel. The playlist for them will be in the description down below. So you can go check out more about the band and stuff that we've had to say about other tracks in those videos. I'm just going to kind of focus on this song in this video. So quick recap of the band, though. We've got William Gold / Wilbur Soot, depending on when you catch him. Joe Goldsmith, Ash, I think it's Kabosu, and Mark Boardman, all round out the four-piece. Lovejoy's music has been described as indie rock, alt rock, and pop punk. Some of the band's influences include Los Campesinos, who we've done on the channel. The
Yeah.
Strokes, who we're both very familiar with. Crywank, Arctic Monkeys, who I'm a Mark IV. Bo Burnham, I love. The Killers, My Chemical Romance, and the Front Bottoms. I've actually been really strongly contemplating bringing some Front Bottoms to the channel. So I don't know how familiar you are with those guys, but that's a conversation we can.
And they just concentrate on music for now.
I see what you did there. In a 2023 interview with MTV, the band described their music as aromantic British noises, which is such a lovely way to describe one's words. Or to one's music. So Normal People Things was released independently through Anvil Cat Records and AWOL on October 6th, 2023. So as you said, this is, or as you
really recent.
inferred, this is one of their more recent tracks. So the song's music video followed just a day later on the 7th of October. It debuted at number 27 on the UK singles charts, making it Lovejoy's second top 40 and highest charting song in the UK. According to an interview conducted by NME, the song was written on the road and inspired by bands like The Hives, and it's an explosive track that doesn't hang about. The length is entire. This is coming from the band. Well, really, I should say William Gold. The length is entirely down to how long the song needs to be. Gold is quoted as saying, "With the band taking an art-first approach to their music, if we had more elements we needed to touch on, it would be longer. I like the simplicity of the subject and the punchiness of the outcome." He explains wanting the song to make people want to get up and join in. So I'm going to touch on the lyrics and then a little bit about
Sorry, Andy, that really does sound like the Hives talking there.
Yeah.
I don't know how familiar you are with them. There's a couple of great documentaries on them, but that's like summing up a lot of what they would say about a song.
About their songs. Okay, yeah. Well, then they've done a good job, I suppose. So, Panic Attack, the backing track, a background hum for Cerebellum. Oh, what a blessing to meet someone like you with eyes as dead as mine. It's fine. It's normal people things just to lie here in silence. Spending days in self-medicating, lost too much weight, unpleasant aftertaste. We think the same, play different games. Since I like to refuse, hope you blink before I do, then pray and pray that you'll go and do it anyway. Hold your breath. It'll make it worth the wait. Hold your breath to your chest and come back and see me, yeah. You rubbed the makeup off my neck that I was using to hide the stubble rash. I gave myself while shaving. Yes, it's probably a razor thing, but honestly, it's harmless, and I refuse to let the sensitive skin win. Oh, what a blessing to meet someone like you with eyes as dead as mine. It's fine. It's normal people things just to lie here in silence. So we lie here in silence, just lie here in silence. Yes, it's the normal people things just to lie here in silence. Hold your breath. I'll make it worth the wait. Hold your breath to your chest and come back and see me, yeah? Hold your breath to your chest and come back and see me, yeah? So in the aforementioned article, Will Gold would say that the song is about finding someone who ironically isn't normal, and that rare connection you get where you go, oh, damn, you're different, but in a good way. And in another article devoted to the song, Cat Odie writes, in the song, he comments with a noticeable degree of sarcasm about how surely it's normal people things to just lie here in silence. It's the story of an attempt to find someone else who might share one of these moments with the singer, a hypochondriac who attempts to perform normality anxiously without knowing exactly what it is supposed to entail or caring for doing so. Finding kinship in silence and dead eyes, a constant hyper-awareness of everything but yourself, struggling against apathy. That's a thing normal people do, right? And I think that's a wonderful summation of the sentiments of the song and this Will character who's penned the lyrics. So yeah, a great little anthem for all the awkwards out there just trying to get by.
As if they haven't had enough of those already, eh?
Yeah, right. Fair point. Fair point. There's quite a deep well to choose from.
I refer you to the back catalogue of Radiohead.
yeah, exactly. And myriad other artists, for that matter. But yeah, man, I'm glad you really like this one. I remember hearing it toward the end of last year and being like, oh my God, this is another, these guys, because if I'm not mistaken, and you diehards out there, you young bucks out there in the listening audience who are really gaga for these guys, correct me if I'm wrong, but this was just released as a single, and because they've been so busy this past year with touring, I don't think they've had to yet assemble the rest of the album yet on which this would feature. So as my guess is in a year from now, this will probably be on the next album. That's my guess, but I don't even think they've they've got that wrapped up, because again, they've been super busy. I think they were also just announced at the beginning of this year for being on Coachella. So they'll be playing there. So yeah, these guys just seem to be getting bigger and bigger. And yeah, touring everywhere. So I look forward to hearing more from them. John, thanks for giving this a listen, and Aster11, thanks so much for taking time out to give our last video a watch and this recommendation. And hopefully there'll be some more. Guys out there in the listening audience, let us know what you thought of this song, what you think of Lovejoy, if it reminds you of anything. Some hella bands we went through that they have drawn inspiration from, and some others that kind of came up organically. I think John really latches onto the Franz Ferdinand thing, and it's there, so he's not crazy for doing so, but that's just another artist these guys sound a lot like. And it's just good and refreshing to get new perspective on a subgenre that I think we like so much here. So all that out of the way, feel free to leave some comments below, recommendations on some other stuff we can check out on future Fridays. That out of the way, we hope to see all y'all and then some more on the next installment of the Audiophiles. See you later, guys.